Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be exploring the Cerebras plan, specifically how these models work, their speed, and what kind of usage you can do with them, and what are the use cases that actually make sense for this type of model. Additionally, I want to try to build a watchOS app for my Apple Watch where I can say a few words and then have it send over a message to my Telegram bot using the Claude bot. This is something that I have been interested in for a while. I've been using it and it's been pretty useful. There are a lot of things about it that are very scary from a security perspective, but I think it's worth at least trying and making sure that I can build out all of these things that make it more productive. Because really, you have to spend a lot of time to get it to do things completely. For example, it can order you Uber. It's just going to take a lot of prompting. But maybe we could cut that down somehow. And I know that there are all these skills around it, but building your own infrastructure with your own voice mode and all that, it takes a lot of time. One thing that I really like about Apple is the Hey Siri command, and I use it to call the gate for me. And sometimes I want to use it just for questions. Like I want to ask it a specific question and I want it to respond back after a while. And unfortunately, we can't do that with Siri. It's just so bad at this kind of stuff. It can call someone for you, it can text someone for you, but that kind of, I feel at least that that's about it. So we are going to try to build that out using GLM 4.7 in the Cerebras plan. And hey, I want you to build out a application on the Watch OS. So this is the Apple Watch with the Swift UI. Specifically, this application will allow me to say a few words like "Hey Siri" or "Hey Echo," and then have it open up, send a message onto Telegram to a specific user that I will provide or a specific bot that I will provide. And I would like for it to respond back with audio using 11 Labs. So please build out this infra. I will give you the watchOS documentation and try to keep it minimal. We will also give you the documentation for 11 Labs. And that should cover what you need. Okay, and now we're going to send it over, and I want it to basically do a little bit of planning, a little bit of research, and then call the tools that it needs to call, build the application, and allow me to test very quickly because I want to see if this works before, maybe an hour max. What drew me to try this is the speed. So again, I did mention that I enjoyed Composer 1. So Composer 1 comes with the cursor plan. You get a fixed amount of usage, and it was really good at quickly iterating over tasks that need to touch a bunch of files or a bunch of code at the same time. Think, for example, Tailwind changes that would affect a lot of the app, or you are refactoring to a different version of some dependency that you have, and you need to make these batch changes all over. This seemed to be something that Composer 1 did really well. It did have to iterate, but the time it takes to get somewhere is less than the time it takes to actually think of the problem. So you can kind of just retry it a few times, and if it doesn't work, well, you've only really lost 2 minutes. So one thing that I've noticed a lot, I'm paying for API prices. I don't have a subscription. Apparently these are hard to get right now. You have to be in a Telegram or Discord group, and they only do them in batches. But the Cerebras API limit is exceeded, and so I get 10, let's say, not prompts because it's prompts plus tools, so 10 prompts plus tools a minute. And I blast through that so quickly because the model is outputting 1,400 plus tokens a second. Maybe I am wrong about that, but I believe that's the case. So we could see here. Yeah, they have it here. So they do say that they do not compress the models. So when you are running GLM 4.7, and it is getting those speeds. It's not compressed. The reason this works well is the Cerebras AI chip. So it is a very, very large chip, like physically as big as somebody's head, right? If not a little bit bigger. And they distribute the memory between things. So I need to like read up more about how this works, but they use the size of the chip to load the entire model, and then the connections in this, like everything's close together, which allows it to move much, much faster. I'm not sure if they're doing anything else to make it that fast, but it is very impressive. And so you could see here that it's too fast to read for sure. I would be uncomfortable reading this. I should probably put like a warning for people who can't seem to look at this kind of stuff. And like the interesting thing that I see is that it is building out documentation, a README, setup wizard, project structure, quick start. Man, that is crazy. That is wild. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's so fast. But will it work? Now let me create a user guide. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work. You have to get it built. And yeah, so this is right now the main issue. I heard from their team that they are not. So I heard from their team that they are not as fast for the API as they are for the subscriptions. And if that's the case, that's super interesting. Now, there are a few limitations to this that come with it. So one is that you only get 130,000 tokens for GLM 4.7. So you don't get the full 200K. And I think this is part of why it helps is maybe that's the max that they can get on a single chip with the model, and you want to load the whole model plus the chip like together, plus the context in the same chip. I'm just assuming. I don't know for sure. Now, what is it doing here? Let's see. Okay. Oh, is this... All right, make the script executable and run it. Let me use Python. Interesting. So Xcode project file created successfully. This is super interesting. Another thing that I've noticed with these models is they're really not good at Swift. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a skill issue. Maybe it's because I don't know much about Swift myself. But I see them needing a lot of like reprompting and like a lot of steering, and they seem to just get stuck on specific tasks way more. But yeah, that probably comes with my lack of experience with the language itself. And let's see. So now we have a good, I would say this is probably a decent enough setup, and we can try to get another model to clean up after it, because the main issue is, again, how little tool calls or whatever that you can do within a minute, and the model being so fast that it just spams tool calls like on a second per second basis. We are going to get a new Z agent, and then we will run GLM 4.7 or Minimax. Let's go to Minimax. So, hey, Minimax. Oh, well, I'm also trying to experiment with voice mode more. So, hello, Minimax. Please go and fix all of the issues in the Swift repo, and then get this built and allow me to deploy it so that I can test it on my Apple Watch. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do that, but let's just start first with the errors and warnings and go from there. Okay, let me take this off. So why am I trying to experiment with voice mode? I've found myself like having so many different things open that it has become pretty difficult to just remember everything in my head. It has become pretty difficult. Like I need to go ahead and try to like make it more conversational so that it, like, one, it sticks better, and two, like the latency of typing is a problem here when you're trying to multitask at these levels. So you can see that I can just spawn off tasks between these 8 projects or 7 projects at the same time and deal with them one by one. And I feel like voice mode can help with just making it more efficient. What I'm wondering is whether it's possible to have voice mode essentially always on, with it sending chunks of what you're saying over to the different models. But that seems complicated, and maybe it's just easier to just stick to like one thing at a time. So proceed with implement with new runtime. Okay. So I like to use plan a lot, specifically because without it, I feel like a lot of the models are not so good at figuring out what needs to happen. So I'm going to process with implement UI by parsing execute state, no protocol changes, implement with new runtime fields recommended. Let's see, UI step-based collapsible timeline goal group by step, a collapsible step with its tools reasoning. Yeah, this is what I wanted. So I believe we have talked about this. So I've been building this here. This is essentially like a version of this, right? The Claude Code. Well, it's not Claude Code because it's the Claude Chrome extension. And I've used this a lot. I've mentioned this a lot on the channel. I find it to be super interesting at like automating things that are really annoying. Filling out forms, for example, although reliability is a problem there. I want to open this and we can open it in new chat just to try to demonstrate what the issues I'm having are. So I want you, well, that's so big. I want you to please go on beta.power drive.xyz and figure out how to do some reviews. Yeah, there you go. Let's just keep it at that. And so you see, I still have to force myself to use my hand, like, use my voice because it's just so natural for me to type. And it feels kind of strange trying not to touch the keyboard. What's interesting here is that this is Kimi K2.5, and it has vision. We've spoken about this in the last video. It's actually pretty good at seeing things and copying things, and it can call tools really well, and it was trained on like using sub agents from my understanding. So this agent swarm work, it's just basically, can you make copies of yourself to go do things and manage them over some period of time to get to a goal. Now you could see here that I have given it a task and it's going through, and so I don't see the think traces. I don't really see what the model is saying until the final result, and I don't know why, but Opus loves doing this. Every time I let it roam on this repo, it changes this behavior. I've tried to, this is another thing I'm trying to get better at, is like how can we prevent them from doing things that we know are, in their nature, which is, I'll just go delete a test so that the tests pass. You can try things, but they can usually find a way around most stuff if they feel like it. So I will implement with this. But yeah, so there's a few issues, like the grouping. It's just so vertical. There's a lot of space being taken up with these little chips that I don't like. I want to go and do number one, and I want to give it medium autonomy. Now, we were working with this Hey Siri on 11 Labs. What happened here? Oh yeah, Minimax. Okay, let's open him. What are we going to do now? I would like this. Please go and fix all the Swift errors and warnings. Then build this for me and launch it on my watch. So I like Opus for fixing problems. I don't like it for coding, but when the code is out there, it's pretty good at getting the thing that needs to happen. Even if it does it in a way that's really idiotic and moronic. One of the biggest issues with it is it creates new files as opposed to like finding whatever already exists in your repo and then repurposing that. Even if you update all of the stuff, even if you tell it in like agents.md or claude.md, it still figures out a way to go and like add new code that didn't need to exist, or like rebuild the same thing 3 times. And you need to clean up after it a lot, but it's pretty good at just getting something to work. And GPT requires a lot more effort to get there, right? So, all right, let's see. problem honus wildcard parameter. All right, lint, type check, build, and push. Make sure we are secure. Let's go back to the browser and see what it has been doing. So this is one that I paused for. Let's go. Oh no. Yeah, it's just, I have to restart it. So these are some of the issues that are super annoying. I'm trying to work through is like the user experience kind of sucks when you're building with these things. They tend to like really make something that is super isolated. And so you have to figure out how to go in and change it. Like what is going on? Chat new. Probably my browser is slowing down. Let's see. And here we have GLM 4.7 Flash. So I've been working on the agent mode. I really like the agent mode that Kimi has. I loved Manus. I used to pay for Manus. I want you to build a website for me inspired by Escher. Please take time and build it out properly. All right, and what I'm trying to test here is if it can use the file system, right? So it can create a plan, and this plan has like tasks, and then the tasks guide it through the process of what it needs to be doing. And it will go and start working on the different problems. Let's see. So it's reading, and it's going to start doing the building soon. What I'm interested in here is how the models are basically embedded into the operating system or into like whatever the control panel of what you're trying to do. So the browser is a great example. If you need a government file or something, you will have to, yeah, this one isn't working. So unless it is not, it seems like the session is not active. All right, so we do have an error here. Let's go back and let's make sure this works. Test the agent mode to completion with your Chrome extension on port 302. I am having problems navigating between sessions. Yeah, my typing is not so great right now. So we have Opus is now fixing issues, and we will see how this works out soon. So the purpose of this video is really to just show what you can do with these super fast models. I think Cursor has something similar. So you could see, let's say here, where is it working? Let's take this somewhere with a lot of errors. This is going to be the best. So this is something that I've been doing here. I'm going to switch this to the fast. Please fix all errors in this directory. And one thing you'll start noticing is you're just going to start getting pop-ups everywhere. Like, okay, approve this with all these Chrome extensions. Not mine, but like for example, the Claude one. It requires you to specifically do the signature or like the approval, or it won't work in this file. So this is the last thing. I've really enjoyed this subscription. I think they need more models. So I love the GLM models. I think they are pretty limited. I don't know how feasible it is for them to get something like Kimi onto these chips. Maybe it is. Maybe we'll see that soon. They are also going to be working. Yeah, you see how fast that cleared all the errors? That was wild. Let's do it here as well. I'm going to stop you. You're wasting time. So do this and please fix all the errors. And this is something that I've really enjoyed. So inline edits with this model are awesome because you could just hit it and tell it like, okay, here's what you need to do. Change all the types to this, and it'll just do it. Fix all errors. Let's copy this so that I don't have to keep doing it over and over. There you go. Hit it like that. And we are done. This is super, super cool. I really enjoy this. I want the plan to be better though, like not the plan. I want there to be the subscriptions, right? Because I like using this enough that I think it is worth using long term. Please fix. So it's about like the harness that it sits in because it's so fast that it doesn't make much sense to try to do like super agentic coding with it where you're giving like these big commands because if it messes up and it goes down the wrong path, by the time you catch it, you're kind of screwed. Fix error. Oh, that never ran. That's why. Okay, okay. Still have error. And let's see, is it able to do it? Still has an error. All right. Well, I guess we hit the limit. We hit the limit. They can't fix these two issues. Let me know what you guys think. I hope this is interesting. I have been having a absolute blast playing around with these things. It's been really, really fun, and I think it's just going to get more and more fun moving forward. Hopefully, we can have better models running locally on these like accessible hardware because you're starting to get like these digital assistants that are going to be able to do things for you, which I find to be super exciting if they start actually like ordering food and like um, whatever, doing document papers and maintaining your life, and that sounds incredible to me. There's a lot of risk that comes along with it, and the risk of lack of privacy is the biggest one. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you again in the next one.